Hi, my name's Tiffany. I'm going to be discussing the Child Maltreatment Index for Week 6 discussions. I'll be talking about what the positives I think about it and the negatives. So I'm going to read off some of the notes that I wrote, just because if not, I'll start going all over the place with it. Something that I love about it is it gives clear direction and understanding for what is needed for the hotline. I think it also gives it extremely clear definitions within the index. If you're confused about a term, it gives it a simple and clear definition. I like how it can also help you construct emotionless questions, because emotionless questions are better than feeling questions. Emotionless questions are going to help you get to the point, figure out what's going on, and get to an understanding and help the child at hand. But questions with feelings are going to make you lead with your heart, and then you get angry, and then you just kind of pry at the person, and then you're losing your sight of your goal, which is helping the child. I love how the index is separated. It gives you the different categories between the different forms of abuse and neglect. It could even tell you in the table of contents exactly where you need to go for whatever information that you're looking for. I think this is good. This is a good index for people who are on the hotline, because these people are not necessarily, going to be like in the field social workers. These are the people who are taking the calls from the people. They can kind of help them get to a full understanding of what's going on. With that being said, as much as I love the layout of the Child Maltreatment Index, I think that the amount of information is an insane amount of information. I think for a person on a hotline, or even like a caseworker, you know what I mean? After so many years, I think that there needs to be a test. So like after like 6 years, you have to go retake a test kind of on the main points of the Child Maltreatment Index, just to keep you up on new terms, new things that are happening, just so that you don't miss important information or important details. Kind of like what happened in the case with Phoebe. This poor little girl was dropped by her father. Prior to her being dropped, there was 2 phone calls made to the hotline, basically tipping them off about this little girl's father. If they would have investigated into it, they would have seen that her father had a rap sheet going all the way back until 2010, all the way until his daughter was dropped by him, and every single arrest was because of domestic abuse. So even in the case of Phoebe, it says how many calls are made to the hotline every day. And there are so many children that slip through the cracks because of the overwhelming amount of calls. So even though we have this index, which is constructed so beautifully and basically breaks this information down into its simplest form and gives examples and clear definitions, we're still slipping through the cracks and not really, I feel like, it's not really, helping everybody. And I understand that there's a lot of people that need help, and we can't always, get to it right away. But the job as a hotline person or an investigator or a social worker is to try to help as many people as we can and be as knowledgeable as we can. So I do think that the Maltreatment Index is awesome. It definitely keeps you up on the terms and how to handle different situations, and it gives you different scenarios of a different type of break or a different type of internal abuse, like in your organs or in your body. So I do really love how it's structured, and I think it gives great examples of things. But I just think the knowledge is a lot, and for people to really retain it, I think there needs to be a test of information. Oops, sorry, my dog's in the video. And then I think with Phoebe, I just think that this was a case where the index kind of fell through, and so did the hotline person who picked up the phone. 2 calls and then this child loses her life. I think that's pretty sad. So, this just shows to us that we can have all these great forms of educating ourselves in this field, but we really need to be on our toes about, taking calls extremely serious. So I do love the index. I think it's awesome. I love the examples that it gives, but I just think that there needs to be some form of testing the knowledge and re-upping the knowledge on the index, and then I think it would be great. All right, thank you.